right here that um vertical and horizontal asymptotes are those dotted lines that shape the graph. Graphs never cross vertical asymptotes.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, this is way too complicated. Right. So to find the vertical asymptote, which I'm going to refer to as VA, hopefully that's clear. You set the bottom equal to 0.
And said the bottom will equal to 0.
So what is
Well,
the bottom?
well, the bottom is just like whatever we say for the vertical asymptote. It's gonna be
What's the bottom over here? What would you consider the
x minus
bottom?
2.
Okay. So I want you to solve this for x for us, please.
Okay, so what you do is that x minus 2. Okay. Can you help me out on this?
Sure. I'll solve one like it. X minus 5 equals 0. Add 5 to both sides.
Okay. Okay, so it's just like this is like a simple equation.
Yes. Yes. Nothing
Mm.
complicated here.
I think, can I write these as an example?
Sure.
Okay, there we go. Wrote the
Okay,
example down.
you gotta
So
solve the
what I
equation.
do is that in the minus 2, you have to add 2 and then add 2 to 0, and that's going to make it 2. X equals 2.
Okay. All right, so that is correct. That is the vertical asymptote.
That's the vertical asymptote. So that's just what it is. That it's for the simple equation for the vertical asymptote.
Yep. So now on your graph there, and it's good to graph as you go. So let me grab a snip of the graph. Actually, we'll hold off here. That we need a little bit more information. Okay. So the next thing here is the horizontal asymptote.
Horizontal asymptote. Okay.
Okay. So the horizontal asymptote is this number here, y equals 1.
Y equals 1. Okay.
Yep. Is that okay?
So that's the horizontal asymptote.
Yep. So now we're gonna make a graph. Okay.
Okay.
And I guess I don't know why your teacher didn't give you like proper gridding here, but we'll
Well,
just,
it's just the grid, and well, our teacher makes us have to be able to be focusing a lot on math like that. He makes students like focus a lot on math, and also he keeps on telling students to write this down like that.
okay, so the vertical line x equals 2 is the first thing we're going to graph here. X equals 2.
Okay, so I should write that down.
Yep. And then you're gonna graph y equals 1. So go ahead and get that down, and then we'll work on the rest of it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got it down.
Okay, so now we're going to do this whole rewriting as a single
Fraction.
fraction. Yeah, we're going to talk about that now. Because that's really what's needed to do the next part. I mean, not completely, but it would help. So, um, first of all, this one on the right here, how do you write one, this one right here that I'm pointing at, how do you write that as a fraction?
Well, you remember, you just have to be able to be writing it with the slash mark.
Okay, what goes on
And
the bottom?
what was on the bottom? A two.
So this is really that's really one. This right here equals one.
That's like a fraction right there.
I know that's a fraction, but how do you write one as a fraction? How do you write any number as a fraction?
It's a half, one half.
Well, no, it's got to be one.
Okay.
So you write a number as a fraction by putting it over one.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Uh, so now, what is the common denominator?
The, the common denominator.
Yes, what is the
I
common
remember
denominator?
that.
Yeah, I mean x minus 2 and 1. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Well, it's been a long time since I did a common denominator, so I don't remember that much.
All right, so you're going to multiply top and bottom by x minus 2.
Uh-huh.
So on the right, it's just x minus 2 over x minus 2. Is
Okay.
that clear?
Yeah.
All right, good, because that's where we're going. That's very important for the next step. You have to keep the bottom the same, and the top becomes 1 plus x minus 2. So when you look just at the top, what does that simplify to?
What does that simplify to?
Yeah.
So, like, if you multiply the top, you think of what you multiply from the top, and then it's gonna be
I'm asking you to simplify the top here. 1 plus x minus 2. What does that
okay,
become when
one
you
plus
simplify?
x. It's gonna be it's gonna be negative one x.
Nope.
Well, like one plus x is one x.
No, it is not. They're not like terms. They don't combine.
Okay. Can you help me out here?
Here, I'll give you an example here. 3 plus x minus 5. The 3 and the minus 5 canceled, combine to make minus 2 plus x. Or you can write it as like x minus 2. That would be okay as well.
Is that like combining like terms right here?
Yes.
Oh my. Okay. All right. I think I got it. So one plus x, that's gonna okay. What I know is that it's gonna be like it's gonna be a negative that's gonna be a negative one plus x.
Okay. Or we can write it as x minus 1 over x
Mhm.
minus 2. So that's your new function. Okay.
Okay, let me write that down.
Yep. Make sure you get all this work down that we did.
That way it's gonna be handy for me to know this stuff.
Well, it'll be important in case your instructor asks you how you got,
Yeah. Okay. So can you scroll down?
sure.
Okay. Okay, got it down.
Okay, so now we can talk about how to find the x-intercept. So you find the x-intercept by setting the top equal to 0. Which is the top?
Yeah, the x minus one.
All right, so could you solve that for x for us, please?
Yeah. X equals one.
All right, x equals 1. So the x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis.
Okay.
Okay, so if we go back to our graph, 1 comma 0, it crosses right there.
Yeah.
So you want to add that point in.
Okay.
All right, now,
All right, gonna get.
um,
I need to go back up. I need to put this down.
well, you can plot that point, 1 comma 0 on your graph. I think
Okay.
you can
Okay.
find that.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, so now the next thing to find the y-intercept is you put 0 in for x. So if you look up here, you've got to put 0 in for x in both of those. 0 minus 1, 0 minus 2, what does that become?
-1 and -2.
Okay, it's there's more math operations, and it's not two numbers. The answer is one number.
Okay. One. It's one.
It is not one.
Okay.
What does this line here in the middle mean?
That's a fraction. The slash fraction.
Or division? Fraction's fine, division's fine.
Yeah. So 0 minus 1. That's gonna be like a. That's gonna be a -1.
Divided by -2
-2. Yeah. That's -1 divided by -2 is gonna be 2.
is not 2.
Let me use my calculator.
Okay,
It's a 0.5.
it's 1/2, right? 1/2.
Yeah.
Or yeah, 0.5. Okay. So that's 0 comma 0.5. So plot that point on your graph. You'll find it's kind of right there.
Okay. I'll plot that in. Let me just plot that in. Okay, there we go.
Right. So the next part, which we'll maybe spend some more time on the next problem. You got to connect the lines. So for now, just you can just draw something like this and go with that for your graph here, please.
Okay. Okay. Let me just write that down. I have a new phone, by the way.
All right. Congratulations.
Yeah, but it's iPhone 15 Pro I got.
Okay.
Do you have an iPhone?
Uh, I do use one for my business. Yes, I do.
Okay. So let me just be able to. Okay. There we go.
Right. So we're gonna move on to the second question.
Okay. That's a very big number one problem.
There's a lot to that one. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. So for this question, and before we do that, for this question, I'm going to ask you to do almost the exact same things we did here. Vertical asymptote, horizontal asymptote, some questions about rewriting as a single fraction, x-intercept, y-intercept. Do you have any questions for me about what we did here? Anything you need me to clarify? Because what I don't want to do is have to go back and repeat what we've already said.
Well, I'm saying is that I have the I have the notes. Like
All right.
they have the notes down in here.
All right. So let's proceed here. Okay, the first thing we found is the vertical asymptote. How do you find the vertical asymptote? What did we do in the last problem?
In the last problem we did, for example, we did the vertical asymptote is at the bottom, so x plus 3.
That the bottom equal to 0.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right.
All right, could you solve that for x, please?
Yeah. -3.
X equals -3.
Yep.
Okay, what is the horizontal asymptote in this problem?
The horizontal asymptote is 2.
Y equals 2. It's not just a number, it's an equation.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, what did we do after finding the vertical asymptote and the horizontal asymptote in the previous problem?
Well, what we did is that we did what we did was that we first of all we just did that into a different way. For example, like we just made that for that right there, we should just graph it. We just graph it.
Sure, we can graph this. That would be fine.
Yep.
All right, so I'm just going to grab this one. So I've got the grid here. All
Hey,
right,
okay.
so you've got a x equals -3. So I'm going to just draw the xy here. And then x equals -3 there.
Okay. All these do that.
And then y equals 2 is the other one.
Okay. Okay. All right. There we go.
Okay, so after this, we combined the this into a single fraction. How do you write the number 2, this 2 right here, how do you write that as a fraction without changing it?
What we do is that we're supposed to like put the
What did we do in the previous problem?
what we did is that we just have to be able to put the we should put +2 in there.
Nope, we need to write it as a fraction. How do we write this number as a fraction?
1/2.
No,
Mm. Um,
what did we do in
it's
the
gonna
previous problem?
what we did in the previous problem is that well, for example, what I got is that it's a 1x minus 2 plus 1/1
Okay, so why did we put it over 1?
because there's a 2 right there, so it's 2/1.
There you go, very good.
Mhm.
Okay, now you're gonna make a common denominator by multiplying the top and bottom by x
Yep.
plus 3. Okay, so this becomes -2 over x
Okay.
plus 3 plus 2 times x plus 3 over x plus 3, like that. Is that okay? Do you see how we did that from the previous problem?
Yeah, let me write that down.
All right.
Okay, got it down.
Okay. So on the right here, we're going to multiply the x and the 3 by 2. What does that become?
Okay. Okay. What that becomes is that x X plus 5.
Nope. Let me give you an example. Let's
Yeah,
say
I
it's
have the
5 times x minus 4. This becomes 5x minus 20.
5x minus. And it's a division. Okay.
You're multiplying. You're multiplying.
Okay.
So give that another try, please.
That's gonna be a 2x plus 6.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now just look at the top. Can you combine any like terms?
Can I combine any like terms? Okay. Well, let me just at least write this down.
Okay.
Okay. So what that becomes, it doesn't get, so you're saying it doesn't become like terms?
Are there any like terms in there? Yeah.
Well, there's 2x plus 6.
We just did this in the previous problem. Look back at your notes. What can you combine here? I think I even did an example.
What we do is that it's a negative 4x plus negative 12x.
Nope.
Negative 12.
Nope. Go back and look at what you did in the previous problem. You're not multiplying, you're just adding things that are the same.
Okay. Yes, I got it. I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a negative 4.
It's not -4.
Was I close?
It doesn't matter if you're close or not. You've got to get it right. Like this isn't grenades. It's not, horseshoes where close is good enough. Like you just need to give me the right answer. It's the stuff that you learned
Okay.
two,
Let
two,
me
3, 4 years
use
ago.
my calculator.
Absolutely. Use the right tool for the job.
Mm-hmm. I'm almost there. 4.
Okay, so it's 2x plus 4 over x
Yep.
plus 3.
Yep.
All
Got
right,
it. Let me
how do
write
you
it down. Let me
find,
write it down.
okay,
Okay. There we go.
all right, how do you find the x-intercept when it's in this form?
X-intercept. Ah, okay. The x-intercept, you find the x-intercept by you find the x-intercept from the origin. It's from like around the origin.
No. So go back and look at your notes from what we did in the previous problem.
Ah, yeah. That right there, we should use the x. We did that before. We have to use the x for +3 equals 0.
No, that's not what we did.
It's gonna be
I would rather you just say you didn't write it down than keep giving me the wrong answer, because when you
I have
do
like
the
lots
wrong
of
thing.
problems down.
Okay.
Like I'm
Well,
just thinking about like there was so much work in here that there was like all of so much problems I'm writing down like that.
okay, but Sarish, I already wrote it down. Like I already know how to do all this, and I wrote it down, hoping you would write it down because I already know all this. I don't need to write it down. I could wake up tomorrow, 10 years from now, and I'll know how to do this. You, the student, don't know how to write it, don't know how to do it. So you should write it down. And
Oh,
then you
I
can
have this
indicate,
down. I have this down.
well,
I
but you
saw it.
could, you couldn't find it. I mean,
Yeah,
like you have,
I was confused of which one it is, but I found it.
well, I don't know how it's confusing. I mean, it says x-intercept, and I wrote x-intercept.
Sorry for that.
Well, no need to apologize, but you've got to indicate important stuff in your notes. You know, you can make an asterisk, you can box it in, you can highlight it, you can do a lot of things. It doesn't matter to me. You have to find the system that works for you. Being successful is about figuring out what works for you and then doing more of it over and over again. So how do
Okay.
you find the x-intercept?
We first of all we just have to be able to find first of all x minus 1 equals 0 plus 1 plus 1.
We're doing we're doing the problem on the screen, not the one that you did before. So what did the words say? What do you have written down?
It needs to be at the top of 0.
It's at the top equal to 0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
so
that's
could you
-2.
x is -2. Very good. So now if you go back to your graph, you can plot that point on there. -2 comma 0 right there.
Okay.
-2
Yeah.
comma 0.
Okay.
All right.
What?
Now let's do the y-intercept.
Okay.
What do you have in your notes for the y-intercept?
It's at the bottom of 0.
That is not correct.
What I have is that at the bottom of 0, you find the y-intercept. You find the y-intercept from between 0, like between 0. Do you remember about that?
No, I didn't write that down. So so when I showed you the x-intercept, you said, "Oh, it's in my notes. I just can't find it." Why don't you look really
I'm
close in
finding
your
it in my
notes?
notes. I'm trying to find it.
Okay, well, go ahead and look for it.
Oh, where is it? X equals 0.
Yes, you're putting 0 in for X.
Yep. I
Okay,
got that
so,
correct.
well, now you have to actually execute on it. You have to put 0 in for X. So you're putting 0 into this function up here.
0 into the function. Okay. So this is going to be so 0 minus so 0 minus. Okay. I'm going to be writing it down. Okay. We put down 0 minus 2, 0 plus 2.
You have to do it for this problem, Sourish, for like the third time. Like everything you're saying is great. It's just we're doing this problem, the one in front of you. We're not doing the other one that you'd like to do.
And we're not, we have to be, we're focused on the y-intercept.
Yep, we're doing it for this problem up here.
2x plus 4 divided by x plus 3.
Yes. Put
Okay.
0 in for X.
2, 0. 4.
Anything else?
4 right there, and then for the x right here, the x right here plus 3, that's gonna be. Let me write that down. Yeah, 2 0 plus 4. That's gonna be a 4. 0 plus 3 is a 3.
Okay, so what is the answer?
The 4 divided by 3. Let me have my
There you go.
calculator
There
out.
you go. That's fine. 4 divided by 3 is good. That's a little bit bigger than 1. Let's go back and plot that point. It's about right there. And for now, I'll just show you how to
Wait, so
graph these.
can I be able to divide it?
You don't have to. You
Okay.
did enough to show that you've got it.
Okay. So equals 4. Okay, so I'm gonna plot it down. Let me plot it. Okay, got it down.
Okay. How would you